Saudi King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz has died, royal officials have announced, weeks after he was admitted to hospital. Abdullah, who had ruled since 2005 and was said to be aged about 90, had been suffering from a lung infection. His 79-year-old half-brother, Salman, has been confirmed as the new king. Within hours of his accession to the throne of the oil-rich kingdom, King Salman vowed to maintain the same policies as his predecessors. "We will continue adhering to the correct policies which Saudi Arabia has followed since its establishment," he said in a speech broadcast on state television. Abdullah had suffered frequent bouts of ill health in recent years, and King Salman had recently taken on the ailing monarch's responsibilities. Prior to announcing Abdullah's death, Saudi television cut to Koranic verses, which often signifies the passing of a senior royal. A statement said Abdullah had died at 1 o'clock, 2200 hours o'clock GMT Thursday. Another of the late king's half-brothers, Mukran, who is in his late 60s, has been named the new crown prince, according to an official statement. Abdullah, Salman, and Mukran are all sons of the founder of modern Saudi Arabia, King Abdulaziz, usually referred to as Ibn Saud, who died in 1953. King Salman called on the royal family's Allegiance Council to recognize Mukran as his heir. In line with traditions of Wahhabism, the ultra-conservative form of Sunni Islam followed by the kingdom, Abdullah will be buried in an unmarked grave immediately after Friday prayers. Frank Gardner says Saudi Arabia could face an increasing internal security problem following the death of King Abdullah. U.S. President Barack Obama expressed his personal sympathies, and those of the American people, on Abdullah's death. As a leader, he was always candid and had the courage of his convictions. One of those convictions was his steadfast and passionate belief in the importance of the US-Saudi relationship as a force for stability and security in the Middle East and beyond, he said. Vice President Joe Biden tweeted that he would lead a delegation to Riyadh to pay respects. UK Prime Minister David Cameron said King Abdullah would be remembered for his commitment to peace and for strengthening understanding between faiths. Jordan's King Abdullah II cut short a visit to Davos, Switzerland, to travel to Saudi Arabia, as Jordan's royal court declared 40 days of mourning. Abdullah was the 13th of the 45 sons of King Abdulaziz. He is believed to have been born in August 1924 in Riyadh, although there is some dispute about his actual birth date. In 1962 he was appointed commander of the Saudi National Guard, where he earned the respect and loyalty of the desert tribes. When he came to the throne in 2005 he succeeded another half-brother, Fahd. However, he had already been Saudi Arabia's de facto leader for 10 years because his predecessor had been debilitated by a stroke. Correspondents say King Abdullah was seen as a reformer at home, albeit a slow and steady one. He allowed mild criticism of his government in the press, and hinted that more women should be allowed to work. King Salman spent 48 years as governor of Riyadh province before becoming crown prince and defense minister. BBC security correspondent Frank Gardner says it is thought unlikely that he will embark on any great changes. In a recent meeting with the BBC in Jeddah, he appeared alert and well briefed but walked with the aid of a stick, our correspondent adds.